This call is now being recorded.
Yo!
Yeah.
Oh, looks like you have to pull in the left close.
I'm a little.
Go ahead.
Yep. Well, I thought, I just figured I would. I'm a little bit above half. I'm like, I decided not to worry about it,
Okay. You didn't even get fuel.
Nope. I was gonna, but I've been one of the sleepers, so I'm, technically got the bigger tanks anyway, so it's not like a big deal. But the day cab, obviously, that one's almost like you got to fuel every day because of it's got two tanks, but they're smaller, so.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, probably more than I got.
Well, I think it's like 275 gallon tanks, I think.
Okay.
So you get a little distance.
Yeah. Word. So you back in your truck then? Or?
I'm back in the other sleeper that I've been in for a little bit.
Oh.
Mine's still over there in Lebanon. Yep. But they must have done something to this one because actually I've been able to use the cruise today. Like it stopped popping up with all those warning lights or whatever and kicking me out. I'm like, cool, I don't have to drive like 300 or whatever miles with my foot on the floor the whole time. Because you get out, you're all like hobbling around. Oh, fuck, gosh, shit. Ooh,
struggle is real.
Fun times, man.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, so if you listen, I mean, whenever you listen to the Real Talk Tuesday one from tonight,
I didn't get a chance yet.
But it was about, kind of about with the Natalie and Sam and whatnot, the whole.
Oh, yeah, I figured. I saw the title. I'm like, oh, yeah, I figured. I kind of figured that as much.
And we're kind of wondering because, yeah. And it's funny because, Allie's kind of wondering if they're up to something because when she got to work, so I guess she was closing yesterday. When she got to work, her boss told her that some lady showed up and was asking for her, and she had like an envelope or something, almost like she was going to try to serve her. And she's like, I wonder, yeah. She's like, I wonder if they're trying to pull some crap, and we're like, what? You think they're going to try to fight you for custody or whatever? And she goes, I don't know. And we're like, good luck. Like neither of them work.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see the grandparents trying to like guide them, like, hey, you guys should try to fight for custody because they can't because no grandparent rights.
Yeah.
But like that'd be interesting.
The dad can try, but he doesn't have full custody, right? Like she has full custody.
Yes, right? she because Alex lives with her, so and she lives with us. Yeah. So they basically, and then of course we're making a move, to a place that's gonna have a bedroom for him, and and so like.
Yeah, quality of life is better that way. Yeah.
They really. Yep, they really don't have a whole lot to stand on. I mean,
no.
If that is what it is, we don't know if that's the case or not. Cause it could be that, could have been anything. Maybe they weren't. It wasn't somebody trying to serve her or whatever. But basically, the boss knows she's leaving, and she's cool. And she's like, as long because Allie's a hard worker or whatever, so she's never had a problem with her. And apparently, Allie was telling me that I guess her boss kind of stalks the camera.
Please stand by.
I was literally. What was that?
I said, you cut out like real bad, like it
okay.
A lot of dead air.
Gotcha. You know what it is out here in the mountains.
Yeah. So the boss.
So we'll see how we'll.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she likes to stalk the cameras, I guess. So she kind of picked up on that Allie was moving, because she said something, I guess. So I was like, yeah, I was going to talk to you. Like, I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. But I get through stalking the cameras. I guess there were some of the other employees that the boss had actually had hired personally that he caught on camera basically talking shit about her.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, wow. So she's a little pissed off about that, but I guess Allie, because I was like, you don't really talk shit about her? She goes, well, if I do, it's not really talking shit about her, like she's such a bitch or whatever. It's more like, I really wish that we could make this more effective or do such and such. Because, she's the assistant manager. So it's like management type complaints, not, hey, this lady's a real piece. It's like, oh, okay, man. But. So,
all right, well, what happened with
I guess the other day,
person looking for her? I missed all that because
we have no idea. Like,
oh, you don't know, but her boss
she had
was kind of like,
she said that because Allie wasn't there yet, so she's like, no, she's not working right now. So,
oh, okay, wow.
A day or two before that, when I got home, I don't know if it might have been Sunday. I don't know, because when I got home, possibly Sunday, how days kind of blend together when I'm doing some overnights and stuff. It's like, what day was it again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got home and I think I called, tried to get Zoe on the phone. Figured I was gonna try to see if they wanted to, like her and Allie wanted to go grab some breakfast before coming home to go crash or whatever. And Zoe didn't answer, but I got Allie on the phone and she was like, "Yeah, I could go for a waffle and stuff." I was like, "All right, cool." I was like, "I'm literally getting off on her exit now. Backing into our space. Go ahead and I'll see you out here." She's all right, cool. And then went to Waffle House. She was telling me that somebody had actually was banged on the door a lot or whatever, like really, really banging on the door, and she thought it was probably somebody from the office, like from the leasing office or whatever. So but she never came down and answered the door. And she was, yeah, they were really like banging on the door, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we haven't gotten any emails or calls or whatever, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
So after whoever showed up at her work, basically her boss was like, "Don't worry, I got your back here. Just make sure that your parents answer the door at home."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh shit, we don't know where she is. Like she went out,
Wow.
Aaron was like, "Well, even if you get served, she's still allowed to. She's still able to move. Like there's nothing really stopping her from there. She'd have to come back and." Or fly back in, and I was like, well, hell, if she having it to fit with her, I was like, come back with her probably, and get a hotel for the weekend or whatever, and just be here to support. And if that is the case, we could turn around and file with the court as well to be like, all right, so how much is like six years of BACO child support?
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Like they're opening up a can of worms that they can't fucking open. They're not gonna like the result, and that's the problem with people like that. They're single-minded, and you know what I mean. They're just trying. They don't think of the consequences of what they're trying to do.
Because we totally would bring up the shit that Natalie, told me about the fact that they lost him on occasion, like for a couple weeks, where he just kind of like wandered outside. They didn't realize it.
Dropped him off at the house. Nobody there, with only a minor there, you know what I mean? I don't know what the laws are there, but, I mean, I'm sure, it's not,
do they have people, testify at
16 or 17?
At those kind of court? Yeah, now she's 17, but back then I think she was, at least 16, if not, maybe, because it's probably at least, maybe she hadn't turned 16 yet. I don't even know what month of the year it was. I just know
it would all depend on what the laws in that state are about, babysitting or what, whether that was appropriate or not, legally.
I'd be curious if, during court hearings like that, if, whoever Allie's attorney would be could have people, testify on her behalf, put us out there, hey, have you ever, had any kind of...
What an idiot. Some car just fucking cut me off to get off the exit.
Oh yeah. I had a car pass the other day that
And
passed me
I
on the
wasn't
shoulder.
going slow. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like I'm doing the fuck over a little bit over the speed limit, not much.
yeah.
But I mean, it's about to drop to 60 up here, so.
Okay.
Like I'm still on the 65, and motherfucker, like really, you couldn't just slow down and get behind me? It's not like
Nope.
I'm doing 50.
Too much work.
Dickhead. Yeah. No signal or nothing either. Just fucking whoop.
Yep. Sunday morning, I had a
But
car
it's
pass
okay.
me in the shoulder, and when they cut over, they had baby on board on the back of their car.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man.
Well, you're supposed to watch out for them. You know, they have an excuse to drive like an asshole.
Because they didn't want to get in the left lane to pass me, along with the other cars. They just wanted to pass everybody. So I was like, well, a child endangerment right there, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Especially when they pass you, and then they barely get over in time to miss the guardrail.
Yeah. That was almost like that. Like they were definitely on the solid lines, you know what I mean, to get off the exit. The wedge. They were definitely all over that. And who knows what sits in that crap, all the debris that can fucking pile up in there, Especially after all the rain we've had.
Yep.
I saw one.
Yep.
It was left lane was coming up to close. I forget where it was, but it was like a drive cam from a truck. And the guy he was slowing down. You could see he was slowing down. Here comes this 4-wheeler from his left, just cuts across him and goes right into the fucking woods, man. Because they had to get in front of him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like people are stupid.
Yep.
They have no respect.
Yeah,
for,
I had a weird experience when I left the
work
obstacle hub.
zones and whatnot.
Nope.
Yeah. Good.
I was coming down towards 40 to get ready to head back this direction, and I thought I saw something. When you're coming down the road and you're looking in your mirrors, and so I thought I saw something off to the side of my right side of the truck, on the right side of the front trailer or whatever. I was like, that's something loose right there. What the fuck? Like on near the tire. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna pull over and just double check, make sure everything's good. And so I found a shoulder just before getting on 40. Well off. I was not really high traveled, whatever. It's pretty,
Yeah.
It's one of those highways that you take north or whatever. It's not like. So I pulled off, and I walk around the truck, and I'm walking back there, and of course, by that point, there's a couple of vehicles that are coming down, coming up that road to go ahead and go towards 40. I guess one of them was one of the FedEx guys coming from, they just picked up in that same hub, and instead of driving by me like a normal, they pass you and continue on, he literally slowed and came to a stop right next to me, and I'm over there still looking to see if I see anything, and I realized, why is this truck beside me? And I started walking around the front again, and he started moving. I just waved down, like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm good. Don't worry, keep going. I thought, that's weird. You're literally blocking the road to slow down.
Yeah, well.
It's a one lane road right there. Like, come on, man, keep going. Unless he was like, I just want to make sure this FedEx guy's okay, because, fellow driver of FedEx. I'm like, that's just kind of creepy, man. Keep moving.
Some people out there just don't give a shit. They don't even think about what's behind them or anything else around them. Yesterday.
Yep. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, it was like yesterday, my first delivery, we have a spot where we pull in and park where they can, so they can look at the top of the trailer because the seals up there. They gotta check them. They have like a
Yep.
It's basically like a ladder with a platform on top.
Yeah.
So they can go up there and safely look and not have to climb up the ladder on the back of a trailer with no safety. Anyway, so we parked there, but they receive regular dry loads like box loads and stuff. They usually with dry ingredients and whatnot. Well, this I'm walking in, and here comes this over the road guy, the box truck, just like instead of like pulling off, like it's a huge area, like usually guys pull off to the left, like along the curb, and for like kind of offset of the doors. There's like three or four dock doors at the receiving area, and then there's like another like six, like past the building. This guy just like pulls diagonally in front of the bay doors, like almost face to face with my truck, where I'm parked off to the side under this rack that's just completely out of the way. And he just parks there and walks in like it's cool, like he's the only one there, even though like I have to drive like I have to pull up so they could check all the lids, all the seals on all the lids. And then I have to go around, like, past where he's parked and back into the alley where the silos are at. Like, he's in the fucking way. Like, you're just looking at the guy. Like, do you, like, just go in anywhere and just fucking pull in front of the doors and stop? Like, fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you, like, you go to some place you've never been to, wouldn't the first thing you do is try to get out of the way once you try to figure out where you need to go? Instead of just fucking no, I'm gonna park here.
Find a
and not like
staging area or something.
Like, but at an angle, so you're taking up more space. I just looked at the guy and looked at his truck and then looked back at him and looked at his truck and he was just didn't even register that he did anything wrong. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just drive around you, I guess.
Yep. Carry wheel chocks, whatever, like those little rubber ones that are small, whatever. Just
wheel chocks and wheel spikes. We can put spikes under his tires, so when he drives off, all his tires will go flat. Fuck him.
He really pulls away. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah. Fuck around and find out.
You're like, no, we'll put subtle spikes, so he drives away and doesn't realize it until
Yeah.
Part way down the road, all of a sudden he's starting to hear like.
Well, they got those ones like, you see them on like, what is it, like On Patrol Live or whatever. Or those like cops, like where they do the spike strips. You ever see what they look like up close? They're like little hollow spears, like needles. They get up in your tire and like slowly let the air out. It's not like they like blow the tire. You know what I mean? That's something like that would do the trick. Let him get backed into the door, and then now he can't move because all his tires are flat.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that people need to be more aware of their surroundings and be a little more courteous to other people around them and not just live in their own fucking world and fuck everybody else.
Yep.
But sooner or later, they're going to find out. And it's usually not in a good way. That's not the right thing to do. Anyway.
I finally broke the news.
And I'm going back there again today, so. What's that?
All right, fine. Hopefully not the same guy.
Yeah, well, no, probably not.
I bet you're right, though. He'd pull up, he'd be like,
Yeah.
And then he parks the same way again. You're like, really, dude? Like, twice? Once, I understand, but like, you do it again?
Yeah. Man, it might have been your first time here. I could see that.
Bug actually got me like a little pack of those.
And like,
either that,
full
but it's not
disclosure,
stick,
Full disclosure, it was foggy as a motherfucker yesterday. But like, you could still see that there was a huge ass like area you could have pulled up like parallel to where you could have parked and been out of the way. And there's plenty of room to turn around and back into the door. But because of what he did, And I don't know if he's just like stupid or stubborn. Then he ended up having a blind side into the dock instead of spin. He could have spun around and came in on the right way. Coming.
Yeah.
No, he like just swung his truck forward and to the left, and then blindsided in, and it took him like 10 minutes. I'm telling you, there's a ridiculous amount of room there, where you really like. If you have any kind of experience, it's really not hard to. Like, there's some places where it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you really got to think about what you're doing. But there's so much room there, like, you could almost, like, pull up and then maneuver it in a way where you could just go straight back. Like, you don't even need to angle it back. You know what I mean? That's how much room there is there to back into those doors. Yeah. But, you play stupid games and win stupid prizes, I guess. I don't know.
Yep. So yeah, Sunday home, I messaged the boss basically, or actually, I was texting him, and then I went ahead, when I took off from the hub, I went ahead and called him, because I was like, I figured, we were getting to that roughly about 30 days out, and I was like, dude, the whole, crap, I really gotta talk to him, not really want to call him. Just like, I don't, it's one of those, like, you want to have that conversation, but you really don't want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
So I called him, and basically I led it with, like, hey, is it, gotta talk to you about something. Is it possible for a driver to relocate to another hub outside, like, into another state, and still drive for this company? Since we're recording for the podcast, I figured not to actually stay in the company name,
Right, got you. No, you don't need to.
But
continue.
But and he was like, it's possible. Why? And I was like, well, like, the wife and I got approved for a house out there for a rental house. It's bigger than our apartment, same as what we're paying here, and it's closer to family, and so I was like, obviously, like, it's not till like the first week of June, so it's like trying to talk to you about it now, since it's pretty far in advance. I figured if something has to be arranged, that the earlier I talk to you, the more likely you could set. He's like, well, and I said we'd be near Kansas City, Missouri, versus Kansas City, Kansas, but would be still about a half hour, like 20 or so minutes east or whatever. And he's like, I actually have connections out there, on the Missouri side, not the whatever, but I do have connections in Kansas City, Missouri. So let me make some calls. Are you going to be up for a bit? And I was like, well, that was Friday. I guess technically that was Friday. It feels like it was Sunday because that was a day off technically because I ran out of hours. So I was looking back, wait, that was Friday. That wasn't Sunday. But so I was like,
Hello.
it's Sunday. Because I wanted to go to McKay's.
Stop. I missed like fucking 20 seconds of that because his phone cut out. So
I got you. Well,
he has connections out there.
Wooded area.
Yeah, he has connections out there.
Yeah, so he's like, let me see what I can do. Let me make some phone calls. I'll call you back or whatever. Are you going to be up for a minute? It's like, yeah, I'll be up for a while since I'm not working tonight. But I never heard back from him. And then I was out with Zoe at McKay's last night, or Monday night, since we're now into Wednesday. And he was like asking me, like, do you want to run a load? He's like, do you want to run a load? And like, yep. On Sunday night at midnight, you want?
Did you get a 34 at that point?
This call is now being recorded.
Oh, hey!
This call is now being recorded.
All right.
That's weird because it showed that you were calling again, and I thought it ended the recording, but I guess when you called back, I guess it was still. That's weird. Okay, that's kind of. I didn't expect that. That's why That's why I went to hit 4 thinking I was going to start recording, and it said call it. The recording ended. What? No, that's not what I was trying to do.
Interesting.
Technical difficulty.
We're still working the bugs out. Now, first, Google needs to get their shit together.
Yep.
Nah,
Either that, or maybe at some point, maybe
Google's
I'll.
fault. Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry.
It's the connections, because about where we're at out here in Tennessee, I guess, a lot of mountains and trees and stuff. So it's,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe Missouri will be better.
Might be.
I don't think Missouri has a lot of. I know they have some hills, but I don't think they have a lot of the mountains, and you're surrounded by trees like you are here. So
yeah,
clear line of sight to the towers, probably. Either that, or I'll eventually invest in like a little bit cheaper iPhone and have that be the recording phone for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Get all fancy and
record on the calls instead of on the app. Just record the calls directly.
Yeah.
But then watch, it's like easy to record, but then hard to actually get the file. Versus like when Google Voice records it, it's automatically an MP3. So I literally just download and upload right to to create the. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, so, your boss asked you to work on your day off again?
Next week, he was asking if I want to work Sunday night, and I was like, I don't know. I kind of, I was like, well, I don't know, because, next Monday I have a VA appointment, and blah, 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 He's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, if you don't want to Sunday night, you don't have to, I was like, yeah, I think I'd rather not, because, I like to actually have my regular days off, even though I get home late Sundays, But then, like, oh, by the way, like, any news on your side as far as the figuring something out in Missouri, with FedEx? So like, I just, just if it's not gonna be possible, just let me know, because I like to get the official email to you and the higher ups to give official notice. I said I want to leave on good terms, so that way, in the off chance if we ever come back to Tennessee, I'd want to have a place where I could technically say, I can go back, because I don't have anything wrong with the company in general, So like, it'd be cool if we did come back to get back in touch with them and be like, hey, you need a driver? Like I'm living here again, blah blah blah, and come on board. All right, cool. I'd rather work with somebody that I already know versus like start on with somebody new and be like, maybe it'll be better. But I'd anticipate that would happen for a while because we're moving to a better. We're actually getting a house versus an apartment or whatever. So, and we're gonna be with your family. So it's like, but all our family, like my mother-in-law and my parents are up there in age anyway. So at some point,
it's way better.
If we don't buy a house up there, so
might even move closer, is what you're saying. Eventually.
Yep. So, but I mean, we have nothing wrong with Tennessee or whatever. So it's like anybody that's like, why are you leaving? And we're like, it's not because we want to leave Tennessee. Like, we love Tennessee. We're like, but to eventually buy a house, we would pay a lot more down here to get what we want.
Yeah.
And out there, because I'm already connected with a realtor that's like emailing me every day or a couple times a week. And we're talking like 4 and 5 bedroom houses for like $185 to $250. And down here, usually it was like $500. And it's like, I like those prices. Because if you're going to buy a house, I'd rather get a house that I'm not like feeling like I'm being basically like buried alive in, or because you're having to work just to basically keep it afloat. So I'm like, especially if we can get a house and we're not paying what we're going to be paying even for the rental house. We're paying, over $2,000 for that, but it looks like, from what I believe, it's going to be a lot of space. It looks like a big, because I looked at the floor plan a little bit when I was like, getting ready to apply for us or whatever, and I was like, oh, that looks great. It's got two-car garage, 4 bedrooms, three. I think it's 3 full bathrooms, not like 2 and then 1.5 or whatever. I think it's like 3 full bathrooms.
Nice. Oh shit.
And so I'm like, well,
fancy.
And I believe electric is actually like included in there because like reading the lease or whatever. Yeah, it said something about like
not usually.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the water is included, not electricity.
Yep. So I was expected to have to. Yeah, water, trash, and sewage or whatever, but
yeah,
I don't know how that'll work because I was expected to do the usual, get on the phone with the local power company to go ahead and set a date for them to connect us and whatnot, and yet there was nothing about that at all. They talked about electric and water and whatever in the actual lease or whatever, and I was like, okay, like, and Aaron was like, yeah, that's part of the thing. It's actually already wrapped in there, and I'm like.
That kind of makes sense. Then why it's a little more than you might find,
Yeah.
It's included. The electric is included in the rent.
Yep. So we'll see how things go, but it should still be easier overall than how what we deal with down here and stuff. Just get a place that's big enough for us, and we're away from the stresses that we deal with here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like, new neighbors moving in and having like 16 cars.
Yep.
And, vandalizing your other cars, shit like that.
Yep.
I don't think you'll have to worry about that out there.
Nope. I mean, I know Erin and her mom still are like, oh, we should just get rid of that car. And I'm like, no. Like, yeah, we got to put money in it to fix it up, but it's never broken down on us, as far as like having to take it to the shop because it broke down. No, but back when I did, because we did drive it a lot.
The plane will never crash if it never leaves the ground. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's funny because like it has like 50 or so thousand miles more than her Jeep, and yet we've had a lot of, not a lot, but we've had quite a few more issues with her Jeep than we ever had with the Mazda. And, it's been parked for a couple of years, but it was that wasn't, well, I mean, it technically runs, it's just doesn't, it's just parked because it has, like, tire issues because of the tires are slashed and windows need to be replaced because they're smashed in or whatever. And I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I'm going to actually make sure that when you do have it running, there's going to be fucking cameras going. So something happens, I can hand the camera to the cop and be like, well, here's the video of the guy that did it, Versus down here, it's like no cameras on the complex at all, and they're like, well, do you want to like file a report? And I'm like, yes, I do, but I'm not going to be. I'm realistic enough to know that there's no video or anything, and so there's probably no chance that you guys. And then, especially when the detective left a voicemail for me, like, yeah, I'm just calling about your the car that you had vandalized and blah blah blah. I'd like to talk to you about it, whatever. And I left a message back for him, basically saying like, yeah, I mean, because they asked if we want to press charges if they catch him. I said, hell yeah, I would. I was like, but I'm not anticipating you'll find him. But if you do figure out who did it, yes, we'll totally press charges. But I was like, there's no video or whatever, so the odds are pretty slim that you'll figure out unless somebody. You get people that talk, that basically flips on people like, oh yeah, they were telling me about this or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, we're probably screwed. So
it's small time shit, man. They don't really care.
Yep. So, oh well, it's all good,
Yeah, and that's where Spencer Taylor and Gant come in.
And the funny thing was, I got out of storage initially before it had the vandalism. Got out of storage, and me and Zoe were driving around town or whatever, and I think this is before we got the Buick, and I don't think Allie was back yet at that point. And the plan was, I was like, all right, well, it was going to be Allie's car, but now I guess it'll be Zoe's car. And so she was already like, you know, buying stuff for the car to personalize it, whatever. And then that was when we went out to go to the car, and we had that windstorm, and we freaking got hit with one of the branches that came off one of the trees that flew into the car and busted the back window and busted the tail light and whatnot. And we're like, are you kidding me, man? And right around the time that I was actually, like, I'd gotten some estimates and was going to go ahead and get the windows taken care of. And, of course, I was good at looking at, like, salvage places online to get, like, the backlight or whatever.
Right.
Had to set up. It was going to be, like, $300 or $400, you know, for the back window, the little quarter panel window, and probably, like, $50 for a light or whatever. All of a sudden, that's when I came home from work and basically had the front windshield smashed, paint on the side of the car, 2 tires slashed. And I was like, are you kidding me, man? What the fuck? Just sitting here, minding my own business, and get vandalized, you know.
Yep.
So, if you stumbled upon this podcast and you did that, fuck you.
Yeah. Just watch your back.
What is it that Liam Nielsen, you know, I will find you.
Yeah.
And I will. If you walk away and keep quiet, I will let it go. You know, but if you don't walk away and you continue to be a dick, I will search for you. I will find you. I may not kill you, but I'll turn you over to, you know, Goldberg, whatever the
Spencer Taylor Grant.
Spencer Taylor Grant. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be handcuffed and hog-tied and turned over to the authorities. Yeah, that's weird that when you called back, it was, I guess, when it disconnected, I guess you called back quick enough that technically you was still recording, I guess. So I was like, okay. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I hit 4 to go ahead and start the recording again, not thinking that it...
Yeah, but as soon as you answered, it said this call is being recorded. And then
did it?
You hit the button. Yeah.
Because I didn't hear it again. I only heard the, when I connected, I heard you say, I was like, oh, cool. All right, hold on. Let me start it again.
Yeah. No, I was saying, because it said this call is being recorded. It's okay.
Oh.
I need to explain everything.
Sure do, man.
Sure.
Oh, because when talking to the boss Monday night, and he's like, yeah, we got loads out, but we haven't figured things out, everything out yet, and but I do know people out there, and there's work to be done, whatever. And I was like, all right, well, do you know what truck you would relocate out that way? He goes, not yet, depending on the run, whatever. I was like, okay. So I was like, well, I hope that. I don't want to just. I kind of worry about getting close to that date and having really not talked to him about it. Like, I'm not saying shit. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to
I'd
set a
say
date with him.
like once a week, maybe bring it up.
Yep.
Or every other week, and then well, no, because this went in June, right?
Yeah. So we're like 3 or so weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say
once a
maybe
week
at the
for
end
the
of
next
the
couple
week
weeks.
say something. Yeah, and then when it gets closer, be like, yo, every day, be like, yo, what's going on? Like, you really gonna dick me off like this, man? Like, what the hell?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I would keep searching anyway. Like, I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't hold my breath on him coming up with something, especially his track record is not that great. No offense to him or whatever, but I'm sure there's 100 reasons why, but
yeah.
How much he's left you hanging, I wouldn't hold in my breath at all. You know what I mean? I'd just keep on looking.
Well, I figure, because there's already, I know I saw a bunch of different jobs out there out of that same hub, that I didn't even realize were FedEx until you get to part where you're reading through the description and it says like from FedEx up to FedEx. I'm like, oh, cool, this is a FedEx line haul position.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
It doesn't start that way. It's like, oh, CDL home daily, blah blah blah, this is it, blah blah blah. And then at the end it gets it's like, oh, you're running loads between FedEx hubs, blah blah blah. Oh, cool, all right, just gotta read the fine
for the
print.
company, not for FedEx. So they wouldn't for a contractor, right?
Yep. But if they don't say anything about FedEx, there's no way for me to know that it's not just some other company hiring their own. But something I'm not too worried about it because I know that once we get out there and we're planning to take that first week to just kind of like get acclimated and stuff anyway. And so, and you know how it is, being a driver, we could pretty much get hired pretty easily with companies anyway. So it's like pretty easily to find a job or whatever. So it's more once we get out there, I know it's more of a concern that that we get that actual address because then Aaron and Allie can start actually doing interviews themselves because they'll have they can be like, hey, we're here. We're actually.
I thought Aaron had I thought she had something lined up out there.
She did, but they because of the whole still same issue. I think because of the fact that we're down here, they were like, yeah, we decided to go a different direction. She had like 3 interviews over the phone with them too, so she's like, oh, okay, sounds pretty promising, whatever. But I'm not entirely. She based on the past. Interviews she had with different companies, she was kind of like, I'm not holding my breath because I'm not going to count on it just yet. And then, of course, they came back. She was, yeah, they went a different direction. I'm like, sorry, love. She was, no, it's okay. I was kind of hoping for the best, but planning for the worst. I said, that's what you got to do, I guess. Hoping they would go ahead and give her a shot, even though she wasn't up there yet, but planning for the fact that they probably wouldn't because a lot of these places she's talking to, I guess they're looking for somebody like immediately, like right now, not
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I dealt with Schneider, I think, because when I had that application with Schneider, I think in Kansas City, it was regional, so I think it was still I wouldn't be home every night, but I'd be home like every couple of days, I guess. And I'm like, well, I wasn't necessarily looking seriously at it because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go away for a couple of days, but I'll look into it, I'll check it out, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they kind of
talk about it, whatever.
After a couple of days, they're like, oh yeah, so we went a different direction. Your name will still be in our applicant pool, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, whatever, I think you're lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. The way I look at it, I guess, as a driver, is I know they, because there's always that shortage. So it's like I figure they need us more than we need them. Like we can always find companies that are hiring. Versus like they can't always find dependable drivers. So
yeah, there's a lot to be said for that too. People come and go.
Yep. Yeah, whenever Natalie drops Alex off, she always gives us a little play-by-play rundown. All right, we did this, we did that. He went on the potty like a big boy. He's really good. We're like, well, he's 6, and he does that without problems over here. So I don't know why. It's like they reward him. It's like they reward him over there because, oh my God, he went potty on his own. We gave him a treat. Oh, okay, well, that's cool. I was like, we don't have an issue over here. Like he sometimes says like. He'll run out of the bedroom. Papa, I gotta go potty. Like, go potty then. Go.
Yeah,
They're like, you don't have to ask. Go.
Okay.
He runs in there. We're like, when we have the accidents though, it's when if he like, does the whole stand to pee thing, and we're always like, sit on the potty so that you can try to go both. Don't just pee. Possible. Or possibly have to go. Poop too. Actually, just go ahead and sit on the potty so you can try to bolt. That way, there's no accidents.
Yeah.
So, and he's funny too. He'll start pacing back and forth. And that's where we're like, go potty. Like, go in there, and try to potty. It's like because he's on his tablet, so he's just walking back and forth, because like, oh, gotta go to the bathroom, but not registering it until we say, put the tablet down, go try to potty. Because you're acting kind kind of jittery right now. We don't want to have any.
Yeah, and that's. You know, you think like for us, you know, being grown, like, hey, maybe I need to pause this and use the restroom, or you know, stop what I'm doing because I gotta use the restroom.
Yep.
But for a child, you know,
Yep.
I don't know. Like I with Isabella, she never had that problem, like, because she would just take it in there with her, and then we were like, I was like, no, because then she would sit in there for like 40 minutes, because she's on the damn laptop and stuff. I'm like, no, you're not taking it in the bathroom anymore. Hold on, hold on.
Okay.
Speaking of taking it to the bathroom, Janelle!
What better place to take it?
Yeah.
Into the shithole.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Welcome.
Crap.
Morning.
Literally.
What's up?
Hey, Janelle, how's it going?
Actually, we were just talking
Dark.
about kids on devices, like, and like they're sitting there holding it because they have to pee, but they don't want to stop playing on their devices.
Just take it into the bathroom like a grown man.
Well, yeah, but this is what I was saying is that Isabella would take the laptop in the bathroom with her, and she would sit in there for like 40 minutes, but never using the bathroom, just sitting on the toilet. Like,
Oh, nice.
that's what I was just saying, and you called.
Fun.
So, like, we basically were like, me and Jess were like, hey, you got to use the bathroom, you leave it out here.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like it's like what Chris was saying is like, she'll sit there and be like, I got to pee, but won't get off the damn computer.
Mm-hmm.
No, the grandson will just pace back and forth on his tablet, and we'll be like, put it down, go try to potty.
Yeah. Yeah, like, take a break.
Kind of subtly lets us know if he had an accident, like, hey, Papa, can I get more underwear? We're like, crap.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not like I peed my pants. That's oh, crap. I did something else. All right, hold on.
You act like you never shit yourself. I mean, come on now.
Other people don't know if I've done that, though. Because I've never had to. To my knowledge, I don't remember those days,
Yeah.
For some of us, those days weren't very far behind. So.
Now, does it happen to all of us out here as drivers and stuff? Why do you think? Well, this truck actually it's not, but my regular truck, I had a little system. Had a trash can, had bags. It was like an emergency system. If you get stuck in traffic, all of a sudden you got that knife in the gut. You're like, I'm not gonna make it. I have to adapt. Especially during the daytime when it's not like you can just like try to like pull off and find a little dark little corner in the grass, but it's like daylight. Oh crap! Everybody's out here stuck in this traffic jam, so we can't exactly.
And they all they know what you're doing over there. You're not fooling anybody.
Do you have that labeled in your truck as the emergency shit kit?
No, it's just a regular trash can, and and of course I have emergency bags and little, if I have to, but thankfully, it hasn't been a common occurrence, but there's been plus it's all about like I better not eat that because that like that's why I don't eat off the hot dogs and stuff off the rollers at like convenience stores or truck stops.
Yeah.
I'll eat one of those, and within a couple hours, it's like, oh crap, I am not gonna make it to the bathroom. Oh shit. Well, that's why you put extra shorts and extra like boxer briefs in your bag, so that way you have backups if you need them.
Always a good idea.
Right, you talk about stuff. I gotta call the loader. I'll be right back.
Whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny 'cause being at the Knoxville hub, getting, everything dropped to get set up. The message like, so do we want to? Should we record today? And I was like, I guess. Just kidding, man. Hold on. So I was like, I'll let you know when I'm leaving here, and I'm on Google Voice, so we could, that way I'm ready for it. And he's like, all right, copy that.
Right. Yeah, he texted me. I'm running later than usual this morning because of what I'm doing, but he texted me. I was like, who the hell is texting me at 4 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, oh, it's Dave.
Yep. It's like whenever I get a call in the middle of the night, I'm like, during the daytime, I half expect it to almost always be like telemarketers or collectors or whatever. But middle of the night, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's probably FedEx or it's probably Dave or, I usually go ahead and most of the time, even if I don't recognize the number, I'm still like, it's probably somebody that actually needs to talk to me, so I'll go ahead and answer. But daytime, I'm like, they can leave a message. If it's somebody important, I'll call them.
Oh, I would do that at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, too. If it's important, I'll leave a message. Yeah, I don't answer those unknowns or looks like it could be a legitimate phone call, but, yeah, you can leave a message.
Especially, it's like the giveaways if I know I'm going to be picking up a load going to Knoxville and I'm running a little bit late to get to that load to pick it up, and all of a sudden I miss a call and it said it came from Knoxville. So oh crap, it's probably Lion Hall out there calling. But it's a general number, so you call it back and it just gets the terminal, and you're like, well, I have no way to reach whoever's trying to call me because I don't know.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, and then of course I get out of the truck to keep hooking up, and they call me back, and I miss the call again. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, well, if you try to ask me something and you keep calling when I'm out of the truck, 'cause I might not bring my phone with me. I might just leave it in here if I'm just doing a swap or whatever. Unless I'm on the phone, then I might keep the phone with me, have the headset on, so that way I'm not just going to drop the call like the random occasions with Dave where he gets far enough away and all of a sudden all I hear is the whole
It usually goes that far. I don't know.
And the one time you're like, you're still on here? Holy crap.
Yeah, it usually works when I have park along the curb and walk into the office, even if I leave my phone in the truck. But there was a truck already parked next to the curb, so I parked next to him. And it was that difference, That was the difference.
12 feet too many.
Yep. Whose size band as John used to be,
Yeah. Walk to the back of the trailer.
Yeah.
John left his phone in his truck again.
Hell, I can't even walk back to the dolly without losing it.
Yeah, well.
You 20 feet back or whatever, I can still hear you, but you're like, you're breaking up. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
And I got the fucking slow guy today. Again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where you going, Martin?
Yep.
I'm done.
Yesterday twice. Excuse me. I was there yesterday twice.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't log out till 4:50.
Ew.
I was not a happy camper. So.
What time did I get back yesterday? 3:30?
Okay. So I had the 6:30 for 8:30 and then 11:30 for 1:30. Now I was back here in Winchester 9:50 or something. My second one was supposed to be preloaded at 9:30, so I should have been there.
Right.
It didn't show up to the yard. Time that I basically got, it was 12 o'clock by the time it showed up.
Oh.
To the yard.
Weren't you supposed to pick Izzy up from school yesterday?
Oh yeah, no, I obviously I couldn't. And that's what I was saying. I'm like, it should have worked out.
Yeah.
Like if that would have been there at 9:50, I would have been back at Martin's at like 11. Out of there by 1 and back in the yard by 2.
Mhm.
Would have had plenty of time to get her from school. Instead of 4:50 is when I logged out because I had to wait that long. I didn't get to Martin's till 1:30. It was 3:30. I was leaving Martin's at like 3:30. Didn't get back to the yard till like 4:40 because the traffic at that time of day going through Carlisle. Plus there was a super load going northbound.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody listening to super loads. One of them loads that takes up 2 fucking lanes, and they usually can't go very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not cool. But yeah, so I had to like once I realized like I was still sitting there waiting for this load, and the problem was the guy was late because of an accident, and they didn't realize until I was already there, waiting for the load that I could have just went and loaded it myself, but the guy was already at the mill. So then he got held up at the mill because even though there were only 2 trucks there to load, it still took that long. It was an hour and a half.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're speaking about accidents on 81. That's unheard of.
Well, yeah, but this was down in Virginia, like down south, like
Yeah. Shit happens down
where
there
they
too.
say it was, Harrisonburg. We all know
Uh-huh.
Harrisonburg too, you know.
Yes. 81, no matter where you are on the business shit show.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm like, once I realized, like, oh shit, and I saw, I still had to stop for fuel, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, I got to Martin's like right at 1:30 for the second one. And I'm like, this sucks because I know it takes you're there 2 hours, even if it only takes me an hour to unload.
Mhm.
You're there 2 hours because of all the process and everything. And it's like,
Process bullshit. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think I was there for like an hour and 40 minutes, but still, you know.
Like, sorry, man, you're late. First come, first serve. We're gonna have to work you in.
Yeah, no. We have appointments. We have appointment times. That's the difference between doing what we do, for lack of a better term, is dedicated service versus
Man.
that. Well, I was telling you about like that guy might have had an appointment time or whatever, but like it's not the same. You know, we go to this place, go to the same places every day. We know the people there. You know, there's appointment times that are most of the time they're pretty strict, you know what I mean, depending on the customer, but
Yeah, versus
it's a lot
over the
different
road,
than over the road, you're 15 minutes early, you gotta wait till then, come back then. Or you're supposed to be here 10 minutes ago. Well, I was here 30 minutes ago, but I was in line. Oh, it doesn't matter. Like, what? Like, I've heard
you
that
can't
too.
park
Like,
here.
yeah.
You gotta, in order to wait
you
for the
can't
20
park
minutes, you
here.
gotta go to
Yeah.
the truck stop, go down the street
Yeah.
and wait and come back. And like, yeah, but it takes me 10 minutes to get to that truck stop, and then I'm gonna be late coming back. Well, that's our problem.
Yeah, there's kind of crap they come up with. It's not like that doing this.
Oop.
Anybody
One
else
of the things I like
playing
about
fuel gauge roulette today?
No.
No. Just me? All right.
No, come on. You have to trip plan every trip.
I did. I literally planned to get fuel on my way this morning.
Yeah? How'd that work out for you?
It's working. It will work.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know how these gauges work.
Yeah, they're off.
Says it's empty, but it's not.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last week, right, Chris? Or the last one a little bit.
possibly, yeah, I think so.
It's a common topic with us. That's because in these day cabs, they're calibrated. Most of these trucks are calibrated for 2 100-gallon tanks.
Yeah.
And
Only
most
have one.
trucks don't have two 100-gallon tanks.
Gotta save that weight.
Yeah. So, but they don't change the calibration of the fuel gauge. So. Then
You
it
would think
says
they would just
empty when,
know.
you know.
It'd just be like,
My light
oh,
will
it's
come on.
this full, you know.
Yeah, my light will come on and I only put like 60 gallons in. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll let
40
you know how
gallons
many I
left.
get in it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep.
Wow, passing on a double yellow. You're my hero.
No, almost got hit this morning from 81 in Maryland for some guy trying to get his exit. Yeah, it was great. It was exit 9. It's still 65 there. I was doing 70, and he just couldn't get behind me. He had to try to race me. You know.
And then cut across right in front of you.
Yep. I had to hit the brakes and everything.
Yeah, Janelle, I told him about when he was telling me that. I had a guy pass me. I think it was on Sunday. I think that flew by me on the shoulder because you had the slow line of cars that are slowly passing you in the left lane because they never get over. They just stay over there. But this car went off on the shoulder to get further ahead. They had a baby on board sign on the back window. I said, "You motherfucker!"
That is awesome. Yeah.
That should be automatic jail time right there, especially if they do have a baby on board.
Mhm.
Like, y'all my hero.
Hell yeah. My favorite kind.
Ugh. Well, there we go.
Mhm.
Chop them wheels.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of got stuck for a few hours at the Nashville tonight because I backed up to a dolly to try to get ready to hook up to it. I guess usually you feel that little bit of a resistance because you set the brake on it, so you feel yourself pressed against it, and you pull back forward again a few inches to that way go back there and hook it up. Well, it had a little bit more of a lip on the front of the dolly than most of them have, and so even though I barely pressed against it, apparently I was already wedged too much. So I went to pull forward to try to pull apart from the dolly, and I was just dragging the dolly. Even though the brakes were set on, I was just dragging it across the pavement. I'm like, crap. So I I tried a few things myself. I finally came and flagged the switcher down and asked for help. They got somebody from the shop over to give me some assistance. So I was like, hey guys, I probably made it worse in trying to actually fix this. So because I got further
Are you a
back.
certified mechanic?
Well, because there was another driver who's like, "Oh, this happened to me once. Yeah, just go back a little bit, go forward, go back." And I'm like, "Yeah, Rocky, I know what you're talking about." But so I tried to do that. I ended up further back up the dolly. I'm like, "Crap." He's like, "Shit, sorry about that. Yeah, it worked for me. Yeah, sorry." And he ran back to his truck. I'm like, "You bastard." I was like, "You come over giving me advice, only to then run away when your advice doesn't work." But the shop came over with like some chains. They hooked chains to the back of the dolly and connected it to the back of one of the switcher trucks, and then they had me try to still pull apart. And it was funny because I was in my mirror I could see the tail end of the switcher truck going off to the side like I was pulling him, and I was like, yeah, that's not working. So then they went and got a forklift, and they got behind the. I think that initially they were thinking about maybe they could raise the tail end of that back trailer enough to be able to pull the dolly out from underneath it, but that didn't work, so they got behind the dolly, and they used the forklift to raise the asset of the dolly, like, at least a couple of feet up, and then the front part of the dolly, you heard it go click, and it came a launch from that back bumper or whatever, and I was like, cool, hold on, let me go pull forward. Because I was like, well, I was there for like 2 hours, got there like 8, I think I left there like 10:30, and when I was getting ready to dispatch, my boss was texting, why haven't you left yet? Like, you haven't left yet? What's going on? I said, oh, I have an equipment issue, but it's all good, I'm rolling out. He goes, copy that.
Yeah. Pop it
I
out.
was like, yeah, like please don't ask me questions.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, then when I used the same dolly in Knoxville, and I was worried, so I did what I normally do because I set the brake. I usually back up very slowly to the dolly, and I felt that resistance, and I pulled forward a few inches, and I went back, and everything went the way you're supposed to. But for some reason, at Nashville, I don't know, maybe where I was on maybe a little bit of a slant, so it just went under that back bumper, and just it wasn't like it was jammed. It just had enough weight on it that it was just basically staying attached to the bumper, and I'm like, this sucks. Fuck. I was like, a couple years, I've never had that happen. So, hey, I get to break myself in, I guess. I just feel like it because you got like 5 switchers that instead of doing their jobs, they're all parked around me. We're all chatting, shooting the shit or whatever, while the mechanic office is there, like throwing ideas back and forth, like, what should we do? What should we try? And I'm going, I don't know. I've tried everything I can think of. I can't. They're like, oh, you should just try to drive around the lot. It'll come this line. So I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to. I was like, I don't want to hook an airline to it and have it, because I was gonna hook the chains anyway, so that way it wouldn't fully come unhooked. But I could see it coming out from underneath and going off to the side and freaking ripping that airline. I was like, I don't really want to damage anything, more than like, yeah, the bumper, you could tell it's slightly bent down there where the metal, but it was like, it wasn't that noticeable. But if I ripped an airline off a dolly, it would be a little more obvious. So I was like, I would rather you guys help me get this out without me having to, They're like, no, don't hook the airline. I'm like, so you want me to just drag the dolly around with the tires locked, And,
Yeah. Then you'll need fucking 4 new tires.
Yep. So this is one of the switchers though, so that he was kind of like just throwing out all kind of ideas. And I was like, yeah, thanks for the idea, but I don't think I'm gonna try that. That doesn't sound very good. I'll let the mechanics do their work. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good times.
Yep. It's funny, you messaged me at like 7:15, basically said like, all right, there's a Knox Kodak load ready right now, whenever you're ready, whatever. And the wife and I were watching something, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll get in there when I get in there. So I finished that episode, basically like, all right, I better get ready for work, Because usually it's not like, with those, it's not like a time crunch. It has to get there by this time, And so I was like, I can leave it at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock. That's fine, If I do the whole, I'm not home. I'll head home now. I'll get ready for work. He's all right. Copy that. Buy myself like half an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah. How about if you told me the day before, I'd be there when I need to be there, not last fucking minute.
Yeah, but I don't drive for a food liner, man.
I know. Or any other company that's decent.
Like you telling me like 10 a.m. like, oh, so tomorrow I'm coming in at 3. I'm like, oh wow, that's you find out really early. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, so that's how it's supposed to work. When you wait till last minute. Just be like your time to call drops. Maybe his boss is calling him. You're talking about me. What's wrong with you? I walked to the porta potty and back. He still don't have the damn spout in the trailer.
Wow.
Pathetic.
I got to put this out in my own trailer this morning.
Again?
He's going to load it for me.
Oh, well, you know. There's downsides and upsides to it.
I'm loading salt today, so.
What has to do with, the reason they have people do it here is it has to do with because it's food grade, you know.
Yeah.
Load integrity and.
Make sure you don't lick your finger.
Yeah.
I got to.
Balls in it.
Yeah. I never
This call
left.
is now being recorded.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't
she
know if
never
you had to
left.
like merge the call. Well, for like 5 minutes or a couple of minutes at least, like I could hear you guys talking, but it got like everything was garbled in my end. I was like, I'm just gonna hang up and we'll reconnect.
Yeah.
So you probably missed all of the ball and Dick and the Flower talk.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
ask.
okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I was like, crap, I'm not hearing any of this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect, and we'll just try to, I'm out here in the mountains, so I just probably had a really bad connection, and it wasn't reconnecting. It was like, heard you guys get a little bit clearer, and then it still stayed garbled, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a really bad recording. I'm just going to stop.
For you.
So what was that you guys were talking about? Well, I was kind of like,
Nothing. You're just bullshitting.
Yeah.
Nothing important.
Comical,
I'm
but
going
not
to laugh
important.
if, like, during
Yeah.
it's like it actually picked it up. It's like, for me, it was garbled, but then it actually recorded you guys. I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Maybe it was just garbled for you, and it was perfectly clear. I don't know, but
Yeah, cause you guys were talking, so I wonder if it was just what I was receiving was just kind of little, So I was like, oh well, whatever.
Yeah. Whatevs.
Yep. Gotta love driving through the mountains,
Yeah. Yeah, I said you were in Knoxville, but didn't see Johnny. So.
Yep.
So disappointing when you don't see Johnny in Knoxville.
yeah.
Yep.
There's nothing else to see there.
I've never been there, so I wouldn't know.
I have.
Did you see Johnny?
Yeah.
No, never once.
No. I can see why it was so disappointing then.
Yep.
No, but trying to get Dave down here to visit in Nashville and
Yeah, we were planning on it this summer, but you're moving, so fuck you.
That's been the last couple summers, I was kidding.
Yeah. No, I just don't.
Dave lives like 45 minutes from me, and he doesn't even come visit. So I mean, let's be realistic here.
You don't get invited to your every Sunday fucking feast.
I should probably feed you.
Mhm. So your mom can pretend that Sophia's her baby. Oh, she fell asleep on my arm. Yeah, she don't like to sleep anymore, so Sophia's at that age where
I do.
She doesn't need a nap anymore, but she'll just randomly pass out.
Yeah.
At any given time.
No, I'm not tired.
Yeah, I'm not tired, and like 10 minutes later, just passed out in the bed. Like it's awful quiet, Sophia. Oh, okay. I see.
Especially when they
but that's
when
usually
they say
it's
that
usually
when
like
they're
4
yawning.
o'clock in the afternoon. Like no sleeping this late. No.
Sleepy. I'm not tired though. You're literally yawning where you're saying that. I'm not tired though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay up. No, you gotta go to bed. But I'll miss you. I'll miss you too, but you gotta go to sleep. But I want to hang out with you. We can hang out with me tomorrow. I'm not planning to go anywhere. I'll still be here when you wake up. Hell, you throw on the hoodie, you get ready to head to work, and the grandson's like, Papa, where are you going? I gotta go work. Oh, but I want to hang out with you. I'm like, I'll be back. I'll see you in the morning when you wake up, or when you get home from school. Either one, And Janelle was telling Dave couple nights back about the other household. My oldest daughter's ex, lives with his parents or whatever. And he's married, so they both don't work or whatever, and live at home with his parents. And I guess the stepmom kind of tries to be forceful with like, hey, this is what's going to happen, and we're like, no, that doesn't work for us, because the grandson lives with us, and so it's like, oh, he has to go here on this date, whatever. And it was my daughter's birthday. She was basically, because I said, you're the one in charge, like you put your foot down and tell them what's gonna happen. And she tried to, like, hey, that's my birthday. I want to hang out with him. I don't want to have a miss. Don't want them to set the plans or whatever. And basically, the stepmom still tried to be like, well, that's really unfortunate that it falls on that day. And unfortunately, he such. So we'll be over there to pick him up at 3:45. And I got kind of pissed seeing those text messages, so I jumped in there basically said like, hey, like, Natalie, like, Allie's in charge. Like, Allie has full custody of Alex, and they both live with us. And I, like, one, you kind of didn't acknowledge her birthday, which you don't have to by any means, but it would have been appreciated being this special day on our end. But, Allie's kind of expressed to you that she wants to keep him home today. And so I understand that what you guys have planned over there is important, but this kind of takes priority. So, like, we're getting, like, Allie, so she's expressed to us and in here in the chat what she wants to do, then basically today's plans take priority over what you plan. So have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. That's like,
right?
I was trying to keep it civil because they're kind of there's me, my wife, my oldest daughter, her ex, the stepmom, and the other grandparents were all in a joint family chat, so that way we could all coordinate where we're picking up or dropping off for little man,
Right.
And at one point, I guess it became known that the ex and the stepmom had me blocked on their phone because of something I had said in the chat, even though, like, usually when I say I was me being a sarcastic asshole, like, I wasn't even me trying to, like, really be mean. It's just me making a comment to them because they don't work or whatever. Be like, oh, why you guys say you're so busy but you don't work? Like, well, how are you so busy? That kind of stuff,
Right.
And they had me blocked, so they, it came down to where something happened a while back where they were going to drop them off at home, and me and my wife, like, Allie was working, and me and my wife were out grabbing dinner somewhere, and we were like, hey, can you get him some food? Like, get him a Happy Meal because we're like 15 minutes away. Like, please do not drop him off at the apartment. Nobody's there. Well, I mean, my youngest was there. She's more than capable of doing it, but but that's not her responsibility,
Yeah.
Right.
So we're like, we'll be back. Just don't drop them off. We'll be there. And they basically, didn't hear back. And we got home, and basically, like, my youngest texted and said she'd come downstairs, and they happened to catch her downstairs, like, when she was near the door. Like, I guess they saw her walking around in the window, and that's when they knocked on the door, and Zoe just answered the door, not thinking about it. And they dropped them off with her. And so I went off on them in the chat, basically, like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Like I told you, like, there was literally only Zoe was here, blah, 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 and like, she's capable of watching him, but that's, like, irresponsible to not make sure that there's at least somebody adult-wise here ready to receive him. Never got any response from them, and then, of course, the other grandmother kind of tried to bypass me and went to my wife, like, hey, like, yeah, they have him blocked because of how he talks to them, and I'm going to probably block him too because he's kind of disrespectful. and we need to like bypass him and just have me, you, and Allie talk together. And Erin was telling me this whole time like everything she was messaging, like, oh, this is what she's saying. I'm laughing, going, she really thinks that's how it works over here. Like, we actually talk over on this side. So it's like, so then I went off on her in the chat, basically like, hey, like, yeah, that's not how this works. Like, you will tell your son and his wife that they will unblock me now, and, you know, talking to the other grandma, I was like, and you will quit trying to bypass me and go to Aaron because neither of us has control over the other one. Like, we're both equal partners in this marriage. And so we talk and we communicate, whatever. So, like, if you guys don't unblock me, then we're just not going to have him come over there and see you guys anymore. All of a sudden, oh, okay, I unblocked Chris. I'm so sorry. You know, I had you blocked because of something that happened in the past. Somebody that talked like him, and I'm like, what? Talk to you like
truthful or
Yeah.
oh my God, you spoke the truth and I didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Your
God.
feelings are so hurt.
His parents use the term like, well, we have to use kind words because we got to help. We're supposed to build him up, and we're like, he's 27 and he still lives at home and, you know, doesn't do anything. So it's not our job to do that. So
Right.
yeah.
Basically,
like,
when you die, he'll sit at home and starve to death because you coddled him so much.
And eventually they'll just end up homeless because eventually they won't be able to pay like the house taxes or whatever, or property taxes. You know, it's like, so that's part of why we're, you know, while we were looking to move out of state to go towards where my wife's family lives out there in Kansas City, because we're like, hey, you know, like, we love it here in Nashville, but, you know, cost of living, you have to deal with this toxic household every week. You know, it's like, yeah, we're going to go a little bit further away where it's a little harder for you guys to just pop over.
Yeah.
But when trying to basically back up my daughter, you know, because I wanted her to, and I told her, I said, I really didn't want to jump in there and say anything. I really wanted I wanted to leave it in your hands. I was like, but obviously she was still fighting you on it, and so I figured one of us had to jump in there to kind of back you up. And so, you know, well, my youngest, but she was like, yeah, that was, because I kind of did like a screenshot to kind of show the other chat that just says me and the immediate family, me, the wife, the oldest, my youngest, and my oldest daughter's boyfriend that she's been with for like over a year now. But he came up for her birthday. He met, you know, him and little man hung out, whatever. But I posted everything that was said in the other chat into the family chat. Basically, like, hey, Zoe, like, and Logan, I want you guys to see what kind of went down. And my youngest was like, yeah, what she said about, you know, her response to Sissy was extremely bitchy, and I would have been more mean about it than you were. And my wife was like, well, yeah, I was pretty pissed off, but I think Daddy approached it correctly. And, you know, who knows, or approached it the right way, and who knows how they're going to respond. Of course, they never respond. They just never showed up. We're like, go ahead, show up, but you're going to, like, we're not going to answer the door. You know, like, fuck you. It's like, so, but it's like, you know, that's, like, you're going to try to, you don't have any control in your life otherwise, but you're trying to, you know, come at us and basically be like, well, this is what's going to happen. Well, we're just going to show up and pick him up. No, you're not. Like, you know, we have plans. This is what, like, she's expressed that she wants to do this, and you're trying to override her even though you are the mom. So,
Yeah.
no. Hell, and I even worded it like, you know, the whole, like, in the spirit of trying to keep this as civil as possible, and that's when I went into the stuff, and it's like, so, again, was not trying to offend anybody, so if anybody was offended, I apologize, that was not my intent, but I figured I wanted to, you know, like, I needed to pop in here and, you know, because Allie made this decision, and, like, this is how it's going to be, so you guys need to deal with it, so have a great rest of your day, I'll see you tomorrow. It's like, oh, man. My daughter was like, applause all around. I just caught up on all the messages. Thank you so much, Dad. I was like, oh, no worries. I was like, I figured she wasn't going to take no for an answer from just one of us. So.
Gotta love when that shit happens.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
And crickets from the dad. Like, he tries to be like put on a show, like in the chat. He'll be like, "All right, we're on our way," but then he literally stays in the car while if it's his dad coming over with him, or if it's Natalie coming over with him, stays in the car, and his wife or whatever will be the one to come up and come up to the door or whatever. And we're like, "Yeah, Sam doesn't even do shit," because he's terrified of us. Like, Natalie tries to do the whole, act like she's not scared of us, but then the fact that I got blocked for nothing, and I was like, didn't even realize I was blocked until shit hit the fan, and they were apparently getting my messages. It's like, if we're gonna coordinate about the grandkiddo, if you guys have me blocked, then I guess you're just not gonna see him, because if I can't communicate with you, then, guess what? You guys can fuck off. So it's like, but the boyfriend, I was talking to Logan before he took off because he was there from like Saturday till like Thursday. He finally took off to go back home, and we were talking about the ex, the bio dad, whatever. And he had actually just met him because they, like Wednesday through Friday or something. The other household, they show up to pick him up for school, and I guess. It's kind of funny actually, because I was like, I got home after they had already like brought him home and did the kid exchange, and I was like, so how did that go? Actually meeting Sam and Nat. He goes, oh, that was fun. He's like, yeah, Sam actually got out of the car and tried to be all like, tried to like, because he's like, hey, I'm Logan. Extended his hand to shake his hand. Sam tried to grip his hand and tried to grip it really, really, really tight. And then I guess Logan was like, it didn't like. It looked like he was trying really hard to like squeeze my hand. It was like nothing, But and I guess Sam got, trying to be the hey baby boy, how you doing? All like, and I was like, yeah, he's put on a show. Like he's many of his other girlfriends. It was always like, oh my god, Sam's the greatest dad ever. Are you sure about that?
No, but I was told to say that.
Yeah. He paid me. I'm a whore.
Well, at one point, a couple years back, I think back before Allie left and then moved back, his parents actually had, I guess they made an offer to my daughter for her to quit her job, for them to pay her what she would make at her job, for her to teach him how to actually parent his own kid.
Wow.
Allie's like, are you joking? Like, yeah, they did. They offered to pay her what she would make at her regular job, but for her to actually like use Sam all the time and actually like coach him on how to be a dad. And she was like, fuck you, I'm not doing that,
Really, that was your responsibility to teach him that
you're
shit, not mine. The fuck?
Hello.
Yep. I mean, but it's funny because when baby boy was born, they were still technically together, but I mean, all he cared about was not have the non-parental stuff, the relationship stuff. To keep it PG since recording for the podcast. But
oh yeah, what?
But he came to me.
PG? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
He now grows. I'm scared.
Yeah. No, I know. We all know what you're saying. He just wanted the booty.
Yeah.
And none of the responsibility.
But, Allie wanted an actual partner though, so that's kind of where she's like.
Yeah.
But he came to me and my wife basically was asking us for pointers because at that point my daughter kind of had enough and was asking for space. Wasn't breaking up with him, but was saying, hey, I need some space for a little bit, like couple weeks. Like, you just give me some space. How do you think? And he was freaking out. Oh my god, just freaking up with me, whatever, and coming to me and my wife. What do I do? And we're like, dude, like just back off her a little bit, like let her breathe. Like, if you keep pushing, she's gonna break it off. Like, you're gonna lose her if you don't just like, you're smothering her, man. oh, okay, that makes sense. But then he would just keep, messaging. And it was the kind of like freaking out about like, oh my god, she's talking to such and such guy. Oh my god, like freaking out because jealousy, And I came down one morning and she was she was crying, and I was like, crap. What happened? She told him to run. I'm like, oh, you guys are. She's like, yeah. I'm like, I was like, well, Mom and I tried to help him, but he wouldn't listen. So, but the other guy she's with for this past year or whatever, like it's like night and day. Like she's actually happy with him, and I saw this guy hanging out with Alex, like racing him, and Alex asking him a bunch of questions, and they're talking or whatever, and they're hanging out, and I'm like. That's literally he comes across like somebody who wants to be a father figure for this kid, because he knows he doesn't really have a solid one currently. So it's like man, it's just sad. And it sounds like Logan actually cried at one point too, like a couple days, like 2 days before he left. And I was like, why did he cry? And she's like, well, because like in the little bit that I've hung out with boy, I feel like.
Mhm. He's like.
This call is now being recorded.
Yeah,
all right.
Back there. I was like, crap.
Yeah. Well, I figure at least we'll try to call back and maybe just
close it out.
Put it to rest. Yeah, put it to rest.
Yep. This whole
I just want to know why I want to know why the voice when he says that it's being recorded is so like breathy.
I know, right? It's kind of it's.
I was kind of wondering
call
if I
is
could
now
actually
being
change
recorded.
That's Google voice for you.
This call is now being recorded. Wish I could customize it. Like this raw chat episode is now live.
Well, you could add that in.
That's kind of cool, but I doubt it.
You could add that in.
I don't know if I could. Yeah, maybe.
But this call is being recorded as kind of our intro, so.
Yep.
If you think about it.
Yep.
Anyway.
And everybody else that uses Google Voice.
Yeah. Well, if they use it for this purpose, but I haven't heard any of you.
No. I haven't looked either, though.
Like
to
we're
be fair.
connoisseurs. We're not connoisseurs, sorry. We don't.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's so much stuff out there. You can't be. I've never heard anything like this before, but doesn't mean there ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't a word.
Yeah, ain't.
Ain't?
Yeah, ain't. It looks good.
Yep.
Because you ain't heard about it doesn't mean it ain't a word, man.
Yeah, mayonnaise. Sorry, Jeff Foxworthy. mayonnaise and good burritos. Whatever the joke is. Anyway.
Yeah. Yup too. Alright. You might be a redneck.
Yep.
If your mother-in-law ever comes out of the bathroom, y'all come look at this before I blush.
Oh, shit.
I don't remember any of his other albums, but the You Might Be a Redneck is,
Oh, yeah. Well, the amount of times I watched the special with him and Bill Engvall, Larry the Cable Guy, and Ron White. The amount of times I watched that motherfucker back in the day.
Yep.
I saw him in Atlantic City.
Who? What?
Bill Engvall.
Oh, yeah? I thought Larry the Cable Guy was going to be somewhere soon. There was a billboard for it somewhere.
So like
Think of
nearby?
Parks Casino. Parks Casino.
Okay.
Then Salem.
Not
Yeah.
terribly far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, for us.
Yeah. For Chris, it might be a haul.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably down south more than he comes up here.
Right.
Even though I think he's from
Yep.
Florida. Larry the Cable Guy. I want to say he's from Florida.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'd see him more in like maybe Alabama, but I don't know.
No, I mean, come on, that's a trumped up. That's like a character that he does. It's not really.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I've heard he used to do a podcast, so I used to listen to that. Back when like podcasts were like what you did,
Mhm.
like 2010.
Yeah.
What more of the games about these? Because it's like, when you keep saying, I'm like, oh crap. Go through
What?
bills.
Well. All right. Well, let's wrap her up
I
then.
was thinking before it cuts out, I was going
Yeah.
all right, man. Well,
Yeah.
Dave and Janelle, appreciate you guys being a part of the Raw Chat segment.
Absolutely.
As always.
Yeah. And don't forget how we say goodbye. Ready?
Always wrap your wiener.
No. Bye.
Oh. Bye.
Bye.